Kangho Kim. I'm currently working for Edenchain as a Chief Strategy Officer. I really appreciate the fact that you guys are there and then be interested in what Edenchain is all about. And then today I'll be briefly talking about what Edenchain is and then what strategy that we have and then how we can picture our dream in blockchain industry. So I'm going to share my PPT slide with you guys. Wait a moment. So let me start with the questions and answers that I have for this time. So Edenchain is basically permission chain. So I'd like to just briefly talk about what permission chain is, and as what Edenchain and what kind of a problem that we want to solve, and then what competitiveness is that Edenchain has, and also what business model, and then what kind of strategy that we are implementing in blockchain industry. So let me talk about the basic question, and then what is a permission chain? Why Edenchain is actually pursuing to become like a permission chain platform? We understand that blockchain industry is going to be led by the corporate and enterprises. But the thing is, whenever we talk to the corporate clients, they are asking whether we are safe and also scalable and trustworthy. But we understand that if the system is not scalable and trustworthy and safe, the corporates are not going to use the blockchain platform. But if you think about the Apple App Store, the reason why Apple App Store is operating really well is because whenever you want to upload your app, you need to get a permission from Apple App Store. Think about that. If there's no permission for launching your app on Apple App Store, it's going to be really, really messy. So we think that in order for a company to adopt the blockchain, there should be at least a permission to to launch their app on blockchain protocol. That's why we thought about the permission chain, and also the market of the permission chain is going to be really, really massive because the all blockchain industry is going to be led by corporate adoption. So in order for the company to use the blockchain should be scalable, trustworthy, and it should pursue for optimal capacity with the permission. Only permission blockchain at this moment can solve this problem, and then that makes the company feel comfortable about you adopting a blockchain. That's why we thought about the permission chain to target corporate adoption. So what is Edenchain? Edenchain is actually targeting the corporate, and the corporate wants to use very practical solution. Maybe there are many technology about blockchain, let's say like DAG, and let's say Haskell language. There are so many complex technology for blockchain, but Edenchain is very practical. Edenchain basically adopts the proven technologies such as like namespace and ECCTC and MVT. Also new technology, which is like a pair execution, Oracle, and POET, consensus algorithm. So I'm going to talk about the technical strengths Edenchain has and what we want to solve. First, the blockchain industry itself is actually very nascent. So meaning that the technical capacity is very critical. A lot of blockchain projects are talking about scalability. Edenchain is also, providing a solution for the scalability, which is namespace technology. So we actually, execute the transactions in different namespaces in parallel way. That's the first part, how we actually, obtain the scalability. And second part is we also pursue for interoperability between off-chain, on-chain data throughout the Oracle. I'm going to, delve into details at the following slides. So the other technical problem that corporates are facing about the blockchain is that if blockchain is not easy to use, they are not going to adopt it. So Edenchain is also providing a very ease of use solution, which is RESTful API for the corporate. I'm going to talk about this thing later on too. So as I told you earlier, Edenchain has three strengths First is scalability and high availability, and also interoperability. The first part is actually scalability. Edenchain is actually very concerned about the scalability. So we use namespace technology in order to achieve the scalability. So you actually make the transactions in parallel in different namespaces, because we think that the slow speed of the transaction actually derives from the serial execution, which is the way of Ethereum. So what we wanted to do is actually to execute the transactions in parallel in different namespace. So we are targeting like 1,000 TPS for one namespace, and those also number of namespace theoretically infinite. So we are basically targeting very scalable blockchain platform. So far, theoretically, 65 million TPS is achievable. And also for our testnet, it's very close to 1,000 TPS. So we are going to be a very scalable platform for the corporate to adopt. The second part is on-chain, off-chain security, and also interoperability. Whenever we talk to corporate clients, they're asking us, how do they, incorporate like existing data, which is off-chain data, and also on-chain, like just blockchain data. There should be at least a process to integrate these two separate data. So what Edenchain actually offers is actually, when we actually support e-ecosystem, which is going to be a channel of adapting existing data from external source. But in order to integrate this off-chain, on-chain interoperability, there is some risk of safety, because we need to adapt the external data from external sources. So in order to solve this security problem, we adapt MVT, which is medium voter theorem. This is actually a very simple idea. When you adapt the data from external source, half of data should be identical in order to be verified as a valid data. This system is called MVT. So by implementing MVT on e-ecosystem, we offer a solution to integrate on-chain, off-chain data. So the corporate definitely need this process, because they are not going to throw away the current existing data. So that's why we came up with this idea for interoperability of on-chain, off-chain, because we are very focused on corporate adoption. The third part is high availability. We are actually running the global DNS. So we also have a multiple data center to prevent some shutdown of server. So even though one zone is shut down, we can actually the rest of other data server can actually operate the whole system. So that's how we actually achieve the high availability for the corporate to use our system very safely. So I'm briefly talk about the competitiveness that we have. So basically, if you take a look at the Edenchain is a permission blockchain platform, which means that the corporate can feel safe, because if you want to get into this system, you need a permission. So only proven qualified agencies or companies can actually use Edenchain, which means it could be very, very safe. And also the transaction execution is going to be parallel. It's very opposite to Ethereum and Bitcoin. And also this is also core part, as I said earlier, the on-chain, off-chain security is going to be guaranteed with a very secure way. And also, we also have a very strict governance on permission. So there's no flexible governance. And also confidentiality is very, very high too. So the other part is that we are a very corporate-friendly platform. So development costs should be very, very small. So what we did is actually to support the RESTful API, which means that the company can simply adopt the API, and then the development cost is going to be really, really low. And also that's actually a way. This is the way to obtain the developer acquisition. So what's the business model? We basically support API. So enterprise, startup, organizations, and government can actually simply use our API on their blockchain service, and then link to that API server to the user, which is very, very easy to use. So what we are targeting, there are several like market. Like this is actually applied to every blockchain platform: IoT, game, healthcare, e-governance, energy, logistics, supply chain, app and contents, commerce, insurance, legal tech. There are so many areas that we can penetrate into, because what we are permission chain, so we are actually having better position to talk to governance, say, or supply chain, because whenever we talk to government, they're kind of concerned about the security issue. If we are public chain, this safety issue could be a very, very serious issue for the governance. But whenever we talk to governance, like governments, they feel very safe because we are permission chain. And also we are also targeting the contents and commerce and app, because this is area that we can actually easily penetrate into very quickly comparing to like IoT and gaming. So we are actually focused on app and commerce and contents, and also we also expanding our business to these areas too. So there's another strategy for making our own ecosystem. We understand that like scalability, safety, or say like interoperability, all those tech issues very, very critical because industry is nascent. But we need to have a clear strategy how to build our own ecosystem. Let's say Apple App Store is very, very good platform because it has its own ecosystem. You know what? There's like another app store called the Samsung Store or LG App Store, but those app stores are totally obsolete at this moment because they do not have own ecosystem. So we understand that tech is a very, very important issue, but at the same time, the ecosystem, the capability to have our own ecosystem is very critical. The solution for our ecosystem is actually Hello Eden. Hello Eden is that whenever we talk to our corporate clients, they are asking us not just for tech, but also their business, such as how can they interact with their marketing company, how could they interact with the law firms, like KYC agency, wallet service. So what Hello Eden actually does for making our ecosystem is that we basically collect all the proven qualified partners in blockchain industry to our system, and then connect these agencies with the ICO company or some corporates to make them choose Edenchain. So once they choose Edenchain, they can simply join the Hello Eden, and they can easily interact with a lot of qualified agencies within the blockchain. At the same time, we also having a group of investors which are very interested in looking into the group project based upon the Edenchain. So what we are going to do is that we just bring the qualified project to Hello Eden platform, and then connect them with the group of investors which are also eager to see the proven and really qualified project. So we could be a channel for them to interact each other. So this is actually a way of building our own ecosystem within the Hello Eden. So we are actually forming sort of a Eden hypernode. We actually attract a lot of VC investors which are already invested in Edenchain, and ask them to be a part of Hello Eden hypernode, and then there could be a participant of Hello Eden system. So this is how we actually build our own ecosystem to make them use Edenchain to use EDN token. So basically within the Hello Eden, EDN token will be used for making a contract or making investment, all those things. That's how we build a ecosystem here. So the other strategy that we have is actually, we are definitely aware of importance of our partnership. So we are actually actively making partnerships with the Startup Alliance, Accelerator, Venture Capital, even public entities, and mid and large size enterprises. We didn't announce all the partnership that we have made so far because we are going to announce it after listing our token on exchange. But trust us, we are very, very aggressively expanding our business capability, and we are actually talking to many partners like local companies and alliance in different countries. And also the other thing is that we are going to be a leader of alliance, which is called Enterprise Blockchain Alliance. We understand that we are not going to be handling all those enterprise blockchain projects. So what we wanted to do is actually to make partnerships with the other blockchain project, which use different technologies, such as like some other project with a different, such as sharding, or Plasma Cash, they are not using the namespace. So we want to be a friend to actually promote the adoption of the blockchain technology for corporate. So we are going to be the leader of this alliance, and then that's how we actually build our own business network, how we actually expand our network to other countries. So we also do know that having global presence is important for blockchain project. We understand that we are initiated from Korea, but we do not regard as Korean project. We are thinking ourselves as a global blockchain project. So in order to do so, we have now 3 offices, local offices. First is Singapore, and New York and San Francisco, and we are also expanding these local offices to other countries too. And also we are running the ambassador program and global offices. There's now we are actually having more than this. We are currently having more than 20 ambassadors in different countries. There could be our liaison for connecting Edenchain to the local companies, local alliance, and local government. So we are very aggressive on maturing the system and in order to make a lot of partnerships in different countries. So I think that's it.